Welcome back to the Bryan Devore Connection. I'm your host, Bryan Devore. The role of technology when it comes to caregiving is getting more and more important. And there are some great solutions out there. Here to talk about one of those solutions is Julie Glazier, and Julie is with Tuktu. Did I get that right?
You did.
Awesome.
You did.
Tuktu. Fantastic. And we have a Tuktu right here. So you can see this guy right here. This is a little stuffed version of it, but that's what a Tuktu is. Julie, what is a Tuktu?
A tuktu is a caribou. That's the Inuit word for caribou. And a caribou is a creature an animal that sustains an Inuit community, and that's what the origin of our name.
Awesome. So that obviously speaks to the company. What is the company Tuktu?
So Tuktu is an AI-assisted platform that is built to make sure that there are really high-quality matches between companions, non-medical companions, and people who need them. So that looks like people who are on hospice, people that are aging and just need additional support, and also those with developmental disabilities, all adults.
Got it. So wide range of potential people, and sometimes it can be very hard to find a companion for someone, especially if for yourself or for a loved one. But this technology really bridges that gap between the person and the companion and makes that connection happen.
Yes. Yeah. It's an on-demand platform too, so there's no contracts, and really what it is that we want to do is we want to empower people who need the support to be able to find the right fit for them. By giving us information about who it is that they need supported, we're able to take that information and use AI on the back end to give them the best match possible based on 24 different points. The longer that they're on the platform, there's deep learning involved and embedded in our technology that can really make sure to, make their experience with us the very best that we can do,
Wow.
the very best they can get.
So we're going to take a little bit deeper dive in just a minute into how it all works. Obviously, this is bridging the gap, for technology, and technology is becoming more and more important. What is the role of technology when it comes to this type of thing?
So technology is used because in today's society, in today's world, in today's culture, specifically with our sandwich generation, we're dealing with, balancing a lot of things, like handling all of the spinning plates. And when the variable of an aging parent is thrown in, or a sibling who has developmental disabilities is thrown into that mix, it can really set everything off balance. We want to make sure that people are aware of the resource of Tuktu because it helps maintain that by giving them an additional plate spinner. We have someone who's there and able to be safe, like a safe and reliable person to be there to depend on when these instances and these situations are given to us. And I think sometimes a lot of people don't realize that technology can help with so much. And as we learn more about AI and as we make our technology more and more robust, we're able to do more with it and help more people.
Yeah.
And that's the goal.
Okay, got it. And so the people who are on the platform, you have the users and you have the people who are the companions.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the companions.
Okay, so the companions are people, generally retired civil servants, they're students at local universities. They're all going to be people that are going to show up on the results for any searches that are nearby. If they're further away, if you're going to be dealing with a doctor's appointment further away in the county, that can go and bring you there, pick you up, bring you there. It's a convenient thing, and it's whatever it is that's most convenient. The AI system in the AI technology that we use will figure that out. But all of our companions are background checked and reference checked, thoroughly background checked. Anyone who drives for us, we require a 30-day, we require a driving record within the last 30 days. We will not put anyone on the platform without interviewing them and onboarding them. They are contractors, so they handle their own schedules. They do their own scheduling. The technology does the matching. Similar to some websites out there that are used for like nannying and babysitting. Except we take the extra step of making sure to vet whoever it is that we put on our platform even further, because we know that they're getting paired with the most vulnerable in our society.
Right. Okay.
So,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And this is different than like a home care company, which can also provide companionship in addition to the assistance of daily living activities. But there's no minimum. Like, a lot of times home care companies might have like a 4-hour minimum. That's not the case here.
Yeah. And so I think really what's important to remember is that we're all home care and Tuktu. We're all in this to keep folks in their homes as long as they can be there comfortably and safely. And we're able to help by filling in the gaps when they're having challenges with staffing smaller shifts. It can be really tricky to retain a client when every other week they want a 4-hour shift and then they also want a 2-hour shift, and that 2-hour shift is tricky to have somebody go to their house for 2 hours. So that's when we would step in and handle that.
Got it.
Yeah.
So let's do an example of how this could work from sort of A to Z, factoring in the fact that one of the things I like about the technology is you can have multiple users on the platform at once, like family members. So let's go through that example.
Yeah. So a lot of the times, like I said earlier, we're part of the sandwich generation. We have people who have left, their parents' general region and moved outside of the state, the county, and they still want to be involved in participating with the support of their parent. But it's not exactly easy when they live further away and they have life things. They can get on our platform and call in and get paired to an existing user and then help with the financial load of supporting a parent who's aging in place. They can also make sure to ask questions from wherever they are and feel more involved in the support of their parent from afar. And that's where the name of our company comes in. It's just supporting people from within the community, from near or far. And I think that's really great because that keeps communication open. It makes them feel connected to the people who are caring for their parents, even though they're across the world sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's something that we haven't seen happen quite yet.
Yeah. And it's also valuable too because, say you have 2 siblings, and I have this in the work that I do where I'm working with the senior locally, 2 siblings. One is in Kansas and one is in Florida. Or actually, let me use a different example. One of them's here and one of them's in Florida. And the one here is very involved, going to the doctor's appointments, checking things out, but the one in Florida kind of feels detached. But if the person here is using Tuktu to get companionship and stuff, but both the Florida sibling and the person here can be kind of logged in so they don't feel like they're totally detached from what's going on. So it's super valuable for that purpose too.
Yeah, and say that sibling in Florida talks to mom or dad or aunt or uncle, whoever it is, and they say like, yeah, I just feel like it would be nice to have some more folks around the home sometimes, or it'd be really cool to have help with. I'm going to go ahead and list the things that we can do, like with meal preparation, with personal shopping. I would love to go shopping more often. I'm going to have somebody who takes me. I'd love to sit with someone who's also really passionate about baseball and watch a baseball game with them, at home with some coffee. I would love to have somebody, accompany me on a walk, since I'm starting to not be the most stable when it comes to my mobility, but I really love my dog and I want to maintain my dog's quality of life.
Yeah.
You have we have reliable people there to help with that. And then they can tell their the sibling that lives in Florida, I need that, I want that, in a conversation completely separate from their sister or brother, their other sibling. And then they're able to go and then download the app, book whatever service it is that they talk to their parent, their loved one about for them after calling in and linking with their profile, and then help again with managing that spinning plate from wherever it is. So because we help with so many non-medical things, it's kind of like having just an additional support member, just an additional family member there. And that is, it's even helped people in, where we started in Canada, that are new parents, just adjusting to that change, like any life change when additional support is needed, until you can find that balance. Who wouldn't want another person there?
Absolutely. And it's important to know too, even though this is high tech and everything else, people don't necessarily have to use the app. They can call and get some assistance that way too.
Yes.
A lot of times, if it's a senior, they don't necessarily have the access to the technology.
Right. And I think another important thing to mention is as we have started to get, to build our relationships with, primary care providers in internal med and, in the geriatric medical space, a lot of them have opportunities to see patients virtually, and those patients don't have, the grasp of technology that's required for those virtual visits that are a lot more available than an in-person. So Tuktu has tech helpers who will go in, show them how to log into MyChart or KP.org or whatever insurance company it is that they're working with, whatever the provider requires, and show them how to do those things. And that's been something that's really been pivotal with one particular office that I've been working with, because they have lots of patients that are aging and that don't have anyone, and they'll book visits to the doctor just to talk to someone. So if they have the technology where they can do that from home because they don't exactly have someone to help them get from point A to point B, and we can go in and help with that, and we can maintain their level of patient care and assist in maintaining that level of patient care by getting touch points with their doctor set up, that's what gets me about doing these things.
Yeah, lots of great use cases for sure. Information for Tuktu is on screen. You have a phone number there to call and the website as well. You can go to learn more. It's an app as well, so you can download the app and get started as well. Julie, thank you so much for joining me today and bringing our little friend here. And just so you know, I got one of these of my own. Julie gave to me, so I have him at home. But thank you very much for sharing about Tuktu and everything that you guys offer.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure.